just rolling the Memphis, shuffling my walk. Boom, roll over midnight. You can hear. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pets of all ages, it is time for Pretty Amazing People with your host, the wonderful Blues Award-winning artist, Miss Brigitte Purdy, Girl About Town, radio co-host, and today's guest will be Mr. Dennis Mitch Maley on Pretty Amazing People. And here is your host, the wonderful Brigitte Purdy.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Andy, for that introduction. Let me fix this camera just a tad. There we go. Can you guys see me better? How's everybody doing today? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm totally overwhelmed with joy from all the birthday love. You guys are incredible, incredible. I feel, that's what's the great thing about Facebook and social media is that we can kind of come together in these arenas and we can just keep pouring love on each other. And so I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all the birthday love. I was just really feeling it. I'm still trying to say my thank yous. So if I didn't get to say thank you via my page or via text or via phone call, just know that I love you all very dearly. So with that, I wanted to share with you a birthday gift because today is somebody else's birthday. Yesterday was my birthday, July 14th, and today is someone else's birthday. Okay, so, oh, by the way, this is from Amoeba Records. If y'all haven't been to Amoeba Records, you might want to check it out. And in here, my daughter gave me this amazing gift, and I have to share it with you guys, okay? When I was little, like not too long ago, but when I was little, I had my favorite record. And I'm getting emotional because this was such a surprise for my daughter. And, I had a record player and I would drop the needle on this record all the time. And it is Linda Ronstadt's Linda Ronstadt's Simple Dreams. Simple Dreams. And so this is the 40th anniversary edition, newly remastered. I didn't know it was newly remastered on vinyl. And there's a bonus track with 3 live tracks. And those bonus tracks are 1, It's So Easy, Blue Bayou, and Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me. So now on this live track of Blue Bayou, I know I'm selling other people's records right now, but she is phenomenal, Linda Ronstadt. And on here on Blue Bayou, there's a verse where she sings it in Spanish live. And my daughter and I went to go see Linda live. And what is the really cool part of that is she has, I believe it's Parkinson's. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to say things that are incorrect. But we were able to ask questions, and we put questions in the box, okay? And when we put the questions in the box, my daughter asked what inspired her to sing that portion of Blue Bayou in Spanish. And what Linda answered was that she said that she was on the way to the studio and her dad had told her the words in Spanish, how to sing that portion of Blue Bayou. You guys will have to check it out. I don't know. Maybe I'll just be able to put it while we're chatting today in the comment box. And she said her dad had told her how to sing it in Spanish, but she forgot the words at home when she went to the studio. So when she recorded that portion, there's only a particular part that is in Spanish. So now that's what Linda said when we went to see her live. She didn't sing that day. She was telling stories about her life. So this album, getting teary here, is a huge part of my life. And so we all have our songs. That's what's so beautiful about music. Music really connects us and brings us together. And today's topic, I'm praying and I'm hoping. I've got this mess back here. I don't even know what's back here. Oh, here's another album. What? Oh, simple. Anyways, there's another album which did with Nelson Riddle that my daughter gave me. It's lost in my pillows. But music is a phenomenon. It has the ability to bring people together. And today's topic, Mitch Maley, wrote a book about Black Wall Street entitled Burn, Baby, Burn. And Burn Black Wall Street, Burn. My apologies, Mitch. I want to get that right. Sometimes I get a little tongue twisted, so you'll just have to forgive me. This is in real time and it's live, and that's just a part of me, who I am. But what I want to say is art, music, literature, books, they pull us and they bring us together. And this body here, this is just a shell for the soul. It happens to be, mocha chocolata yaya, my skin. Okay, but the skin is nothing. Right here inside of me is my soul. And everybody I meet, I want to see their soul. I don't need to see the color of their skin. I can see their soul. We can meet each other soul to soul. And if we do, I believe, we can plant seeds of unity and peace and understanding. Because this body, genetically, we're 98% alike. That's it. Genetically, we're 98% alike. Scientifically, Google it if you'd like. So it's that mere other percentage that makes us different, that makes us beautiful, that makes us unique, that makes us one of a kind. And I want to meet people where they're at. I'm telling you about me, but I know my followers and are lovers of people too. And I want to meet people where they're at, and I want to love them where they're at for who they are. We've all had different chapters in our life. Some of them are great, some of them are not so great. All those trials are learning lessons. So today I introduce to you Mr. Mitch Maley, who wrote Burn, Black Street, Burn. One more second, Andy, before you roll the video. I just want to let you guys know that this was taped. Okay? And so Mitch, my dog's coming in here. This is really live. Can you hear those feet? Okay. Okay, you can hear the little feet. Anyways, my couch is pushed really close to the camera, so she can't sneak in. But when we videotaped this with Mitch, and the Wi-Fi was a little bad, so it went out. So we were able to tape a small portion, and I had so many more questions, and I wanted him to share so much more, because I feel that this topic is so powerful in unification and love and understanding of one another. Okay, Andy, hit it, and I'll get the dog out. Almost in person. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you on.
All right, I'm going to leave you too.
So so you had a good day?
Very busy. I'm in a process of like semi-moving. So I'm going to be going to getting a place in New Orleans. So I'm selling a property, buying a property, and it has as exciting and fun as that sounds.
We were just discussing that. Andy and I were just discussing that. He's moving. A lot of people are in a transitional phase because everything that's going on, and everybody's been somewhat reflective, enlightened, that sort of thing. So.
A lot of just like repressed energy, and that we haven't been able to make any life decisions really, and think about those things in a serious way, and then all of a sudden you get kind of all this freedom at once. It gives cause to really kind of rethink every element of your life, I think.
Absolutely. I'm having a little difficult time hearing you. Do you have a mic or something, or can you?
No, unfortunately, I'm not at the studio.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. But if you could somewhat get closer to your mic or turn up your.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's better. I just was telling Andy that I have a little difficulty sometimes. I seem to be really loud, but my guests are not as loud. That's good. Yeah, so I totally agree with you. I was thinking everybody's coming back into their lives and living within communities kind of at their own pace and in their own way, based on their situations and what they feel is best. Everybody's had a lot of time to think.
Definitely.
Definitely. So let's talk about you.
What do you want to know?
Well, I mean, oh my goodness, you're so freaking amazing. Okay, so boxer, you were in the military, and then the way you and I kind of met, this is the first time we are face to face talking, but the way you and I met was you are currently, correct, a writer for the Bradenton Times, and you did a little interview, and voila, here we are. And during that time frame, you had mentioned that you were writing a book entitled Burn, Black Wall Street Burn. Correct?
Yes, and that just came out within the past month.
Within the past month. And, I have so many questions. What really inspired you to do this?
Well, it was one of those things where, as a journalist, when you come across a story, and the background for this is the 1921 race massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And when you come across a story like that and you don't know it and you've never heard of it, it piques your curiosity. And then I started realizing, well, nobody I talk to knows about this. And it's this kind of hidden piece of history that has never really gotten the attention that it should have. And I'd gone so far down the rabbit hole that I was thinking about the longer magazine piece. And then it just got to be so much information. It was such a sprawling story that I didn't think I could do it justice without going into a full novel.
Now, you had mentioned in a prior interview, I did a little research, that you were actually didn't consider this a massacre, that you considered it a Holocaust.
Yeah, I think, the word that was thrown around historically was a race riot, which really implies that it's, something, I think, much less. But, I think that when we'll never have an accurate death count. The numbers are probably, the best estimates I've heard are about 1,300. In fact, they think they found another mass burial just recently. There are of them dumping bodies in the Arkansas River off of a barge, burying them with a steam shovel in a field. So the 300 that were initially reported was always known to be very underreported. But when you think of that it was all done in about 12 hours, and that you raised a city of 10,000 to the ground, only a handful of buildings in the whole city survived. And then when you think of, summary executions and, burning people alive.
This is really hard for me to hear. I'm sorry. This is really hard for me to hear.
One of the worst actions in human history. Certainly one of the worst in American history. So for most people not to know it exists, I think that's a very terrible thing.
Well, with education and knowledge, then hopefully when we know better, we can do better. And
yes, that was really the hope, was that if I could get this story out to more people and just raise awareness, then maybe that would in some small way, contribute to the conversation that we're having today about race.
Yeah, and so this is the anniversary this year, the 100th anniversary of the Black Wall Street. And what was it like, do you think, during that time frame? I mean, in my mind, I think and it's hard for me not to get emotional, upset, angry, or want to cry about this because it is horrific. And I think to myself, that was 100 years ago. And I think to myself, what if that hadn't happened? Where would those doctors, those prominent Black people be? Where would those doctors be? Where would those lawyers be? What was it like during that time frame 100 years ago? Black Wall Street, because I began to do some research after you told me, and it is very intriguing.
Yeah, you have this kind of weird dynamic that was happening where Oklahoma only became a state 13 years earlier. So in 1905, they discovered, to this day, the largest oil deposit in American soil right outside Oklahoma, called the Ida Glen. So for about 20 to 30 years, Tulsa was the most oil producing city in the world. So most of the oil, though, was very close to the surface in this giant, broad, shallow field. So they were able to extract it all in a relatively short period of time, in a matter of decades. So that's why you don't hear as much about oil there now. However, they are doing a lot of natural gas and oil fracking there. However, so when you look back at that time, that you really have to think of a place like maybe Abu Dhabi or actually I'm trying to think of the place in the Middle East that you would have to. Pardon?
The Gulf of Oman. The Gulf of Oman, yeah. Fujairah.
You'd have to. I was thinking Dubai. So
Dubai.
A place like Dubai, where there's just obscene wealth. That's kind of what it was like. There were the equivalent of Lamborghinis, Ferraris driving all around the streets. It was not like the rest of America. It was this really unique place of extreme wealth. And as a result of them being very, very segregated with all this money and not allowing any of the Blacks to shop in their stores or to otherwise patron businesses, they kind of accidentally created this vacuum amongst a lot of money where you had even the low end, very service oriented jobs could earn more than a doctor or a lawyer in some cities. So you had Black people in and around Tulsa earning more than they were anywhere else in the country. And then you had some industrious African Americans who, many of them who were the first generation born free, who had education from places like Howard and these historically Black colleges. And they came and said, wow, there's a lot of opportunity here for somebody who wants to engage in enterprise and Black business and commerce. So you had this kind of city playing by different rules than anywhere else, with an enormous amount of wealth passing through it. And as a result, you had Black enterprise in a way that it didn't exist even in Atlanta and Chicago and New York, and cities that had, a little bit more industrious Black populations. You had Black millionaires in Tulsa in the 1920s, which shocked me. I didn't know that existed anywhere in the United States at that time. So this sort of place where it really was on par with, New York and Paris in terms of the theaters there, the hotels, the amount of culture and everything that came through. So it's very different from what we probably think of when we think of Oklahoma today. And that's probably the part that surprises people the most about the kind of the Landsat for this story.
Now, I know that you, this is what I found interesting about your choice and your decision was to create a nonfiction story, because I like what you said, what the reason why. Can you share why you chose to write this through the lens of a nonfiction story?
Yeah, so it's kind of unique in that it is technically historical fiction. So it's novelized and it's dramatized history. So when I tell people that, it's kind of like if you were to imagine when they write a movie about a true event, they still have to imagine conversations that they can't possibly know, what was said among historical figures and so forth, but they're bound by the historical events very closely. So where historical fiction as a term, as a genre, is kind of vague because it really covers everything from this to completely fictionalized stories that just are set in historical settings. So this is historical fiction that is completely accurate in terms of all the historical events. There did have to be a couple composite characters, and some different storytelling devices to make the story flow, but the history of it is 100% accurate. There's nothing in it that is hyperbolic in that sense. But the reason I wanted to tell it as a dramatized story was there was already two really good nonfiction academic books that I thought told that story well, but they didn't seem to get the attention that you would have hoped. So I hoped that I could reach an audience, maybe reach for an academic book and want it to be.
Yeah, so you would be able to reach a more broader audience. Actually, just the whole subject matter is so intriguing that I think that it's very captivating in itself. Now, can you tell us about some of the characters within the book? Did I freeze?
Yeah, one in particular. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
That's okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you. You're kind of freezing up here and there. Andy, is he freezing up on your end?
He was very integral to the story in that he was a veteran and he had just fought in World War I and was blessed with kind of a command leadership and was able to rally a lot of the former soldiers and the African Americans who contributed to the sort of the defense of Greenwood. And he was definitely a very, very interesting character to research. He was also a giant for the time. He was 6'5", 260 pounds,
Wow.
which in 1921 was pretty much unheard of. That'd be illegal today.
Mm-hmm. Well, where can people buy this book? I think you're frozen again. I think you're frozen.
You freezing up on
In hopes to bring people together, because that's the whole goal of my show today, is that via knowing history we can know better and we can educate and we can elevate our understanding of one another and develop some compassion and empathy
among people who got other races and be able to feel comfortable having frank conversation.
Who we are and our beliefs, and addressing some of those uncomfortable questions that we have in regards to understanding other people's lives, their cultures, and individuality, and really truly accepting people for who they are at that moment in their environment, culturally, educational wise. I mean, really, we're just all people. As a matter of fact, we're actually genetically, we're 93% alike. It's just that, I'm sorry, 98% alike genetically. And so it's just that mere percentage that's left that really deciphers and makes us and distinguishes us as different. And this was a tough topic today, but it definitely a necessary and a needed conversation. As Dennis said, that these conversations need to be had in order for us to really reflect and to unite and to bring us together. Dennis is pretty amazing. I thank him we kind of lost him here and there, but I thank him. I appreciate the work that he's doing, trying to unite and bring us together via the pages of his book, Burn, Black Wall Street, Burn. And you can find it on Amazon. It's a great read, and thank you, and you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you all for dropping by. I wanted to thank Dennis also for his captivating book, and I thank you guys for dropping by today. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and sharing is caring. So hit the love button and share away. I would love for people to be informed, and let's elevate ourselves in love and compassion and understanding. Toodles. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye.